Hello everyone. In today's video I'm going to be doing a little bit of forging on the good old Simmons Store forge here. So I have purchased a 10-foot length of 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch bar stock, and I'm going to be using my first project to be the leaf from Alex Steel. I don't know for sure if he is the originator of that particular design, or rather at least his style. But in watching his video, I was going to take his advice and try to make as many of these as my first projects as possible. That way it's immediate stock for something that can be sellable and not just an heirloom to be kind of in the shop or around the house, if you will. And my plan is to sell them for $5-10, something quick turnaround basically. The suggested price that he had for the steel is about what it is, so I paid $17 for 10 feet. He said 15, 18 bucks, so we're right around that area, which is super nice. And this is going to be my first full technical item being forged from a bar of steel, which is in and of itself the essence of blacksmithing. So I'm going to definitely enjoy that. We're going to play around with it a little bit. I'm going to see how much propane I have in the first burn. Otherwise I might have to pick up some more propane here in a second. So stay tuned for that one. We'll see if I can last at least one leaf out of what I got left for propane, and then I'll go pick up some more. So without further ado, let's have some fun doing some forging. Alrighty, let's talk for a moment here. That was a little bit cringe, I'm not gonna lie. It was my absolute first time really legitimately forging. The closest I had gotten to that was a friend of mine a while back had a farrier's forge, and I got to hammer on a railroad spike for a little while and kind of turn it into an axe. Most of it was more or less just sanding kind of a haphazard little bit of a beard on it and then cutting a beard into it. So I wouldn't really classify that as like full-fledged actual forging for the most part. The tongs that I do use was actually given to me by said friend, which thank you very much. If you end up watching this video in the future, I greatly appreciate it. Other than that, he gave me a few little tips at that time, which kind of stuck with me a bit, and kind of remembering it the more I play around with the forge. But it was only for a couple of hours, and it wasn't like from start to finish, here is your finished product kind of deal. It was a few hours of the night we were kind of piddling around, if you will, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't actually finish anything. So my first technical forged item, as you saw in 2 videos ago, was this little guy, which is just some rebar that I ended up turning into kind of a little drift, or something that I'm going to use for some more forging, but just something in general that I can kind of cut with. Now, the one downfall of this one is that I have not fully tempered it yet, so it is still kind of soft, and I will end up having to temper that. So I am starting to roll the edge a little bit from the cuts that I made tonight. As you saw, I was overstriking a little bit when I was drawing out the kind of curl for the top part, and it ended up causing it to hit and cause a flat spot, and then unbeknownst to me, I rolled that, and it was starting to create a cold shut. Well, that ended up actually becoming a twist, so I ended up stretching the material out and making the very first leaf. It is a leaf. It is a Alex Steele inspired leaf, because it's definitely not at all what he made. Hopefully I can get to that point. But with this being the very first one, I'm very happy with how it turned out. That being said, I had leftover material. As you kind of saw a little bit, those time lapses got a little dark there, but hopefully you're able to kind of make out what I did. So the other end that was overdrawn out and too long and still had this twist on it, I ended up cutting this off and then kind of reverse forging it. I was getting tired, so not the best safety that I had, but I'll be danged, I had to get this project done, and I wanted 2 leaves. That was all that was in my mind. So I propped it into the hardy hole and just kind of cut it, as you saw. Not the safest. So keep that in mind. I know I was being an idiot, but I got it done. And that generated this second leaf. So I'll kind of bring him up and show him to you. I was able to use this little guy as well to round out the faces. So this is the last video here. I was able to use that belt sander to round out the faces on my hammers and flatten this one. So since I don't have a dual-sided one currently, I made this one into a proper flat face, and then I re-rounded this one that it definitely had some strikes into a few different car parts and other things down in my past that absolutely beat this thing to death, but it's still kicking. So this little, I think it's called a crosspeen, or I'll probably get murdered in the comments, but that's all right. But that little guy ended up working really nice as a rounded face to kind of move the material. And all of this is really just an exercise for me to kind of figure things out, and hopefully to give you guys some encouragement to be like, wow, hopefully it won't be as bad as that guy, or whatever ends up being that thing there. I didn't think I did too bad, but I am very happy and proud of my work that did come out of it. It's not total scrap or garbage. It actually looks half decent. There is some sharp points and definitely some criticisms I'm giving myself that I know I need to improve on the future, but I'm actually pretty dang proud of it. So we'll do a pan over it for you so you can kind of see exactly what was sculpted out of it. And this has been pretty fun. It was a quick project, something I wanted to get done and get started on. And like I said earlier, I want to start selling these at a local market that my wife is part of, and I'm going to kind of sell it through her shop. So pretty excited. If I can get a little money coming back at this, it's going to give me a little bit more incentive and desire to keep going with it, because it's always hard when you get a lot of projects going and a lot of irons in the fire with all the different hobbies you have. So then it feels like you don't want to keep putting money out without some kind of return to make you feel a little bit better, to keep producing, keep creating, and seeing that there's more to just the self-satisfaction, which is always a huge part of it. If you don't get self-satisfaction from a hobby, you won't continue doing it. But anyway, I'm ranting. So hopefully you all enjoyed this little segment and kind of the next installment of me using said forge. It's still working awesome. I did forge 100% off of one burner to save on propane, and I did run out and have to go get another propane tank quick exchange over at the good old Wally World and continue on foraging. And I'm excited to see where this is going to lead. So thank you all so very much again for watching. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoy the content, make sure and hit like on the video down below. If you want to keep watching this content as I keep producing it, make sure and hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell. That helps me out greatly, and it gives you the earmark reminder of every time that I create content, you will be notified of such. So again, thank you all, and have yourselves a wonderful night.